morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout-out goes to Gaurav Rathore. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Gaurav was first to say first in one of our recent videos, and this one's his shout-out. So congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here with a review of a neat new drone, the Aosenma, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Aosenma CG028. What is the CG028? Well, if you look at it, it is a folding drone. Let's show you opening it up. To open this up, you pull out the, let's see, you bring out the front arms first. Now be careful when you do this, folks. The front arms swivel down instead of out. They swivel downward to open up. So don't try to pull these out sideways or you will break these arms. Okay. And then the back arms do swivel out sideways like that. So be very careful. Gently open these up. Do not force them open. And when you get them open, also open up the back legs like so. Okay, now, looking at this particular drone, this looks very similar to something that came out about a year ago from Aosenma, the CG033, also known as the CG006. Now, that drone had issues, okay? Aosenma supposedly has fixed those issues and has re-released this drone with a slightly different top shell here as the CG033. Now, it's a GPS drone, as the other ones were, but this one actually works, folks. I already took this out in the field and tried it yesterday for an initial flight, and it flew very well and worked very well at the same time. But let's go over the drone, what you get with this drone. I mentioned already it is a GPS drone. That means this will return to home and land on command through the controller or through the app, on loss of signal from the controller, or on low battery. This will also come home and land itself on low battery. Other things about this drone, it has brushless motors. A big deal here. Brushless motors. In fact, this is one of the lowest cost GPS drones currently out there with brushless motors. This, I believe the one battery version of this runs a little over $100 currently. So it'll probably come down in the future even more. So we'll see. The other thing about it, now this is advertised. I'm seeing this a lot. All these drone companies are advertising 4K cameras or Ultra HD cameras. This one, I believe, was, what's this one advertised as? Yeah, advertised as 4K. But what they're talking about, folks, is the photos. Well, let's talk about it. The camera on this is a 1080p camera. 1080p video camera, folks. This records 1080p video either directly to your phone via Wi-Fi or, now this is... I had a hard time finding this the other day. Or via an onboard micro SD card. It does have a micro SD card. It's just above the camera behind this little plastic slot here that you have to pry open with your fingernail. Okay, that's where the SD card is located. That enables you to fly this with or without the app using the controller. That's a big deal, folks, being able to record to a micro SD card in a drone. I don't recommend getting those drones that record via Wi-Fi only. You want to record to an SD card to avoid Wi-Fi lag and frame dropping in your video. But again, I mentioned it records in 1080p. Both the video and the photos are just merely frame grabs of that 1080p video. In addition, this camera swivels up and down via the remote control. There's a lever on the remote control, scroll wheel actually on the remote control, allows you to move the camera up or down. But note that the drone has to be flying for that to operate. This does not operate unless the up or down swivel on this lens does not operate unless the drone is in the air flying. That's the only time that operates. So if you're at home trying to operate it, don't be surprised if this don't go up and down. It has to be flying. But I mentioned, you know, every drone that's coming out these days, even the toy drones, are claiming 1080 or 4K cameras. What that means, folks, is most of these toy grade drones are simply interpolating the video using software, in this case using the VS GPS app that's used with this drone to interpolate either photos or the video to higher resolution. It's not going to look any better than the original video. In fact, it's probably going to look worse because of that, you know, just because the image information is not there. It's using software to just create bigger, blocky looking pixelated video. So I don't recommend those type of fake 4K videos. However, 1080p is more than sufficient for most people, folks. In fact, I don't like to use 4K because it requires a lot of processing power, a lot of time on my computer to convert it to something that I can use with YouTube, something that's reasonable file size. 4K videos are huge files, true 4K videos. So, 1080p camera is what most people we're probably after. Your average user out there is 1080p is more than sufficient for most people. So I'm happy with the resolution of this particular drone is what I'm trying to say, folks. So let's put this drone down. What other things have I missed? Forgot to mention. I forgot to mention this uses the VS GPS app to view FPV video along with the ability for follow me and waypoints. You need to use that app to do FPV, follow me, and waypoints. And you can also record video directly to your phone too if you wish, except I don't recommend using that video because it's probably going to be full of Wi-Fi frame skipping and frame drops. But to use that app, to be able to use that app with this drone, you need 802.11 AC Wi-Fi, also known sometimes as 5G Wi-Fi, which is incorrect to say that. It's 5th generation Wi-Fi, but 802.11 AC, let's say that. And not everybody has that type of Wi-Fi on their phone. So before you consider purchasing this drone, I strongly recommend that you first verify that your phone or the devices that you intend to use with this particular drone are capable of using 802.11 AC Wi-Fi, or you will be very disappointed when you get this drone and find out the app's not working with it. Okay? Not enough said on that. Let's talk about the controller now. So actually, this is different than what the CG033 had. This is a different style controller. You bring it down like so. It has little swivel arms that come down, but this is your phone holder where you insert your phone in. It has a nice LCD screen with telemetry information. These particular antennas, I believe, are probably fake antennas because I don't see a wire going up in them. But let's turn it on. There's the on-off switch right there. The telemetry information, let's see if I can turn this so that it doesn't show up. Well, it's not working with my camera, but you're going to have to take my word that telemetry information is viewed on this screen. It includes the signal strength of the drone, whether the GPS is on or off, how many satellites you are receiving, the direction of the drone is flying. That's great. I like this compass rose it has here. It shows the direction the drone's pointed and flying, whether you're flying mode 1 and mode 2, the battery power of both the drone and the controller, the speed of the drone, the height of the drone, and the distance of the drone, and whether you're in a low or high speed rate. And it also shows whether the lights are on or off, but that's inoperative with this particular drone. You can't turn the lights off. They're always on or off. Other things with the controller, this is your throttle for mode 2 versions. This is your yaw, this is your pitch, this is your roll. If you want the drone to fly back and return to you and land, automatically you press this button here and it will do such. If you want to do automatic takeoff or landing, you can press this, but I could not get this to work yesterday, so well, it seemed to work that time. But this was very buggy, the automatic takeoff or automatic landing. Instead, to start and take off, I recommend just bringing back down both sticks, down and out. That starts the motors, and giving it throttle, and it will take off. Also, you can turn off the motors after it lands by bringing both sticks down and inward. This button here is special, folks. This is it has circle me ability. You could either use the app or for circle position, or you can use this controller alone. So you don't really need to fly this particular drone with the app or with your phone. You can actually fly this line of sight and still record that SD card to get your video, but you won't be getting FPV feed, in other words, if you fly without the app. But a lot of people can fly line of sight and you still record video with this if they wish to do such. And you still have this one feature here, special feature here of circle position. And finally, this button, or not finally, there's a couple more buttons I'm going to show you. This button here is for rates. This has 3 different rates, which means 3 different speeds that this drone can fly at. And you switch them by pressing this button here. You hear 2 beeps, and the highest rate gives you 3 beeps. Other buttons on this button here is for starting and stopping your video. You hold it down for 2-3 seconds and you'll hear a beep, and you'll get a little video insignia telling you you're recording, and you can turn off that video recording And you strongly recommend you do that before you turn off the drone or you lose your video. So you always got to start the video when you're flying, and before you turn off the drone, remember to turn off that video or you will lose your video. Other things, you can take a photo by a quick press of this button. It has a scroll wheel on the left here, but the scroll wheel does nothing except beep when you move it. However, the scroll wheel on the right does raise and lower the camera lens. So if you want to look downward, you can scroll downward like that, or if you want to raise the lens up to look at the horizon, you go to the right like that. And button on the right, if a quick press normally would turn off the lights of this drone, this is actually for a headlight, folks. And this drone, the place where the headlight would have been has been replaced with the memory card slot, so the light button isn't operative. However, if you hold this button down for 3 seconds, the drone will enter into headless mode, and you can fly the drone in headless mode with the controller alone. Let's go over let's turn the controller off. That's the on-off switch right there. I forgot to mention, this does not have any batteries inside. It has its own built-in lithium polymer battery, and you charge it via this micro USB port right there. The antennas on this I'm pretty sure they are fake because I don't see any wires going up in them. So the antenna is probably inside there. So let's close the controller and go over what you get with this particular drone. Now, I did not get an instruction manual with mine. However, I did get these instructions for using the VS GPS app. They came in both in English and Chinese. But if you follow along my video, I'm sure I can get you into the air without the use of the instruction manual. Other things, Banggood promised to include a link to the instruction manual on their listing for the PDF version of the manual, in case you don't get an instruction manual with yours like I did not get with mine. Okay, let's go over the things you get. You get a strip of... I'm not sure what these are. I think these are reflective tape. But you get this in the package. I'm not sure what it's for, to tell you the truth. You get a screwdriver, and I'm not sure what this is for either, since this does not have a battery bay that you can open up and replace your own batteries. You can use this to fix the drone if you want to get in there, because this is all held together by tiny Phillips screws. So you can use it for that if you need to get in there. Other things you get in it, you get the charger. Now, I did not bring over hold on, I got to show you the cable for this charger. Here it is. I forgot to include the cable on the table. So here's the cable for the charger. It's got a male-to-male charger plug. It goes into this little charger right there. It's a little heart-shaped charger, and this comes off and reveals a USB port plug. And you'd plug this into a USB port. Do not use your laptop to do this. You use a wall charger for phones, USB wall charger, to charge the battery. But this is this is intended for charging the battery. And the battery that you get is this 11.1 3S battery. I believe it's 1500 milliampere hour. Pretty big battery. They say it's supposed to give you 25 minutes of flight time. Actually, in the flights I did yesterday, it was actually giving me 19 minutes of flight time, and I was flying it pretty aggressive, so there is a possibility that this would go to 25 minutes, but usually that's in hover, and most people don't hover. So realistic flight times around 18 to 19 minutes with this battery that you get. And again, this battery is charged via this balance port plug or receptacle here that you plug into your charger, like so, and then plug this into your wall charger, your phone wall charger, to charge the battery. I'm estimating about 2 to 3 hours using a 2 amp wall charger to charge one of these batteries. Now this is available in both 1, 2, or 3 battery versions. I got the 2 battery version. Each one, the base version with 1 battery costs about $100, a little over $100, and each one of these batteries, as you add on to the drone, adds another $20 to the price of the drone. So if you intend to be flying, more than one flight, more than 19 minutes of flight time, I do recommend getting a spare battery, at least 1 spare battery for this particular drone. The reason being, you're not going to be able to buy these separately after you get the drone because of import restrictions with LiPo batteries. The way that the China companies are getting around it is bundling these batteries with the drone, and you get them when you initially purchase the drone to get around the LiPo shipping restrictions. Other things you get in the package, you get a full spare set of propellers for the drone. You get another USB, micro USB cable, and this is for charging, again, charging your controller since it has the micro USB port on the top for charging. And finally, the biggest, coolest thing you get, and you've seen it sitting off to the left here, or off to the right, is this really nice foam carrying case for the drone and all its accessories. It's actually nice, lightweight, but pretty tough with a handle. So it's actually a nice carrying case. So let's see, I think I talked about all the features of this. I forgot to mention this drone is supposedly able to go out to 500 meters FPV range. Realistically, yesterday's flights I was getting about max range of about 350 meters FPV range in the flights that I did yesterday. I'm going to try to go again today and go a little bit higher to see if that improves the range of the FPV. Additionally, if you fly out of FPV range, you can still continue on if you can still see the drone and fly line of sight all the way out to 800 meters supposedly with this controller. So if you're good enough to see that out to 800 meters, that's a tiny drone. I might be able to see that out to about 400 to 500 meters. We'll see how this one goes today. And that is about it. So let's take this CG028 out into the field and see how it flies. Hope you enjoy this flight. Good morning, Quadcopter 101, and we are out at one of my favorite flying locations by the Trona train. We're going to see if we can make it to the Trona train today with the CG028. Let's go through the startup for this thing. First off, we're going to point it on the ground, and I'm going to set a headless mode direction of the train. We're going to point in that direction. Point the drone in that direction. And the next thing we do is turn on the drone by holding down this button here. And you hear the beeps, the ESC is beeping, and turning on the transmitter, and it should automatically connect to the drone. And you can tell by looking in the LCD bar, and if you see the 12.5, 12.6 volts of the drone's battery, you know you are connected to the drone with this controller. Okay, before we go flying, I need to do a compass calibration. Now the CG033, you could start the compass calibration by moving this stick down and this stick up and to the right, but I am going to use the app. I think the app is more accurate. So let me connect to the Wi-Fi of the drone, the 802.11 AC Wi-Fi, and we'll do the compass calibration using the app. So hold on, folks. Okay, this is the VS GPS app available on Google Play and iTunes. Now again, the first thing we need to do is a compass calibration. If you notice in the bottom row of the app there, we have three icons. One of them is a gyroscope, which is the compass, or not the compass, the gyro calibration of the drone. The center one shows a compass, which is the compass calibration for the drone. And the one on the far right, it shows a lock. That's actually emergency stop. If you press that, that was emergency stop of the drone. But what we want is the one in the center, which is the compass calibration. Now, if you notice on the back of the drone, right now, the lights are not lit. But if we press that one time, they light up red. That tells us we're in compass calibration mode right now. And to do the compass calibration, the way I do it is I do 3 horizontal turns until I hear a beep, like so. And then I do a few vertical turns for good measure until I see a red light come back on. And that indicates to me the compass calibration is complete. Now that is different than what is in the manual. I think the manual is telling you to do figure 8s. Those don't seem to work too well when I do it that way. But when I do it that way, it seems to work very well in calibrating the gyros. Now, to start the video recording, I am going to press and hold this button here until I see a beep, and I'm seeing that it's recording. Then we're ready to go. We should be good to go. I'm going to start the motors, down and out. And to do an automatic takeoff, press repeatedly this automatic takeoff button until it takes off. Sometimes it doesn't work until you do it like 3 times. And there we go, 3 times. Maybe it's supposed to be 3-time press for automatic takeoff, because it doesn't seem to work for me. And again, I didn't get a manual with mine, unfortunately. Okay, stability looks good. Let's go up a bit higher. I'll get in the picture. Say, how do you like my shirt today, folks? It's a little chilly, so I got to wear a sweatshirt today. Let's raise up the gimbal a bit. Notice the gimbal going up. Notice the gimbal going down. So going back up, I want to take it just up enough so that I don't see any props in the view, but I want it to be high enough to see the horizon. Okay, I'm too high. Coming down. Not too far. Got to get this just right. right there. That should be good. Okay, we're good to go. I'm recording. Let's see what type of range we can get with this. First off, I'm going to go up higher and then hit outbound. Heading outbound and increasing the rates too. It's too slow. That's beginner rate. This is intermediate rate. Going outbound and going higher. See if we can make it to the trains or close to it. Going up and up and up so I can see it above the mountains in the distance. My app is saying we are 100 meters out and still heading outbound. And how's the FPV? FPV is a little bit choppy, but that's okay. We are recording to the SD card, so we should still get video. 184 meters, heading outbound. Going up higher. Give it more throttle, going up higher. I got to keep it up high enough so I can keep it above the mountains off there in the distance so I can keep an eye on it. I want to still maintain visual line of sight if I can. Coming up on 260 meters. Still going up on 284 meters. 300 meters. Still have FPV. 330 meters. 347. I don't think I got FPV anymore because it's not. Oh, there we go. A little getting choppy. 380 meters. Going up higher again because I'm getting close to the horizon there. 420 meters. 430 meters. Still have a little bit FPV. Going up higher. 457 meters. 470 meters. 485, 490. It's working, folks. Did I make? Oh, just short of 500. Just short of the advertised 500 range. But I'm still going outbound. Okay, I'm stopping it right there. My distance is 1611. It says 1613 meters on my LCD screen. I know that's wrong. That's probably feet. But on my other screen, it says 498 meters. Okay, let's do an automatic return to home from there. Pressing and holding return to home. And checking my LCD screen since I still have contact with the drone on my LCD screen. And the distance numbers are decreasing rapidly, so I know it's coming back. And I see the little dot in the sky, and it is coming back. I can see this thing out of 500 meters, folks, but it's just a little dot in the sky. But it's coming back. Coming back rapidly. Wow, that thing moves. But I haven't regained FPV, though. I don't think I'm going to probably get FPV until it lands. Because the test flight I did yesterday, I wasn't able to recover FPV until after it landed. I don't know why. But so be careful. If you fly out of FPV range, you're not going to get it back until it comes back home. But here it comes overhead. Wow, it moves. How high am I up there? 33 meters from my position height here. And it should be coming down. All on its own. Let's see how accurate the return to home and landing is. Coming down, coming down. Actually, not too bad. Not too bad. Let's see if it'll touch the pad. I don't know if it'll touch the pad. But it's reasonably good. Yeah, it did touch the pad. Okay. That's excellent. Excellent return to home and landing. Okay. Before I try anything else, I'm going to wait for it. Oh, there we go. It regained the FPV signal finally. So I can stop the video recording. And know it stopped on the app. So I can continue with the app. Okay, let's try that follow me of this thing. Okay. Putting it back on the pad. And restarting the recording again. Recording has started. Okay, both sticks down and out. Automatic takeoff. You got to press it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and it does automatic takeoff. I guess that's probably in the instructions that I don't have. Banggood has promised that they're going to upload the instructions for those of you that don't get them. They're going to have an electronic version on their website. I'm going to lower the gimbal a bit here for this follow me. Raise the gimbal a bit so I'm somewhat centered. There we go. Actually, let me go out a little bit more because this is going to be using my phone for the follow me portion here. And we're going to activate follow me. Now that's in the app. We got to go in the upper left corner there, the one that shows the hiking man. Press that, and that should be it. Actually, let me go over here. I don't think that was it. No, it's green. It's doing it. So let's do a follow me. Let's see if it follows me. And what type of follow me do we got here? It is a little bit choppy there. I better keep the phone here so it can see or get the GPS from the phone. But let's see how accurate its follow me is. I'm looking on my screen and it's following me. Doing a walk through the desert. So that is the follow. We're going to walk over here. How's my battery power, by the way? Getting a little bit low because of that long distance flight. Okay, to break out of follow me, we got to press that button one more time, and that turns it off. Now I'm going to do a circle position. Bringing it right overhead. Right overhead here. And we're going to press the circle position button on the controller. Maybe I got to hold it. Yeah. And it goes about 3 meters away, turns toward me, and then starts circling my position. Now, you can just barely see me. You can increase the radius by pushing outward on the stick, pushing up on the pitch stick. To increase the radius, I think the maximum is about 20 meters radius for the turning. We can also increase the speed, I believe, by pushing to the right a bit. No, that speed seems to be about the same. But there's the max radius of the circle position, about 20 meters. I'm pushing forward. Maybe I can get a little more. No, that seems to be about it. Going around me. So that is circle position. Let's raise up that gimbal since it doesn't need to be that far down. So far everything seems to be working fine on this particular drone. Pretty nifty. I know when Aosenma released this about a year ago, they did have a lot of problems with this drone, but they seem to have been corrected. So, you know, everything seems to be working. I hope the video is recording. That's very important. But let's call the end of that circle position right now by pressing that button one more time, or holding that button one more time, and that ends it. Let's bring it back over by pushing forward on the stick. Back to my position. Coming over. And finally, let's try waypoints out. For waypoints, let's go back to the pad. I'm going to plop it back. Well, let's just plop it anywhere, actually. Right about here would be fine. Because I want to plot the waypoints, and then we're going to set it up in the air. So putting it back on the ground, we're going to land right here. I guess I could have hit automatic landing too. Okay, and stopping the video recording. Video recording is stopped. Now, we're going to go into the waypoints mode, and that is in the upper row there, the one with the squiggly line, which is second from the right, black one. There we go, that one there. We're going to click on that one there, and that should bring open the maps for this, and we're going to hit center position. And we're going to zoom in quite a bit until we see the blue circle get big. And we're going to set some waypoints around our position. Now, this did not seem to have, it works with Google Maps in map mode, but I'm out in the desert and there is no listed roads that you're going to see on this. Unfortunately, it does not seem to work with satellite view, and as such, I don't know where these waypoints are, but I'm going to press that one there, and we'll put one over here, second waypoint, and then a third waypoint here. Actually, let's delete that third waypoint. Let's do this, one there, one way over here, and then one back to us, or close to us. So we'll take one more, there we go, and five waypoints. And then we're going to hit, we're not going to hit send until it's in the air. So we're good to go there. I'm going to start the video recording again. Video recording is started. And I'm going to start the motors. And then 3 quick presses. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to go up a bit higher because I don't know if it uses this altitude as waypoints. And then I'm going to hit send. And off it goes on its waypoint mission. On to the first waypoint, which apparently is over there. And then it should turn to go to waypoint number 2, which is apparently over by my car. And then it's going to turn and go to waypoint number 3. We were down to 10.9 volts. 11 volts, 10.9 volts. Still have sufficient battery to do these flights. That's waypoint 3. Again, if this had satellite view, I'd send this out farther because I don't know where these satellite or these waypoints are at right now. But because I don't have map view, and we're in the desert, and this is how the desert shows up on this map. But it does have Google Maps, and they were working just without satellite view. And waypoint 5, there we go. Okay, so that's the end of the mission. And I guess it comes right back to me. That's cool. Comes back to my position to end the waypoint flight. So let's come down lower, lowering its altitude. And we'll come out of waypoint mode and turn off waypoints. Turning the drone back toward me. Coming down lower. And I'm going to sync up the camera just real quick. I forgot to do this. But one more time. And right now I'm going to turn off the video camera because I haven't shown the... there's a low battery warning. I haven't shown photos yet. Let's take a photo. Let me get a little closer. 1, 2. Hopefully these photos are working. 3. And let's try one using the photo button on the app. So, okay, hear that beep? That's warning us. Okay, that's not the photo button on the app. That was a video recording. Let's take a photo button on the app. That should have took. We'll see. Okay, starting the video camera again by pressing and holding this button down here. Okay, while we still have power, we got to go, well, let me show you something. Hear that beeping? It's not going to let us fly any further than 20 meters. We're almost 20 meters away from the pad. How far are we? Oh, from the takeoff point. Takeoff point was here. We're away from the... It's going to remember the last takeoff point. But watch. As I go outbound, it's going to block, like hitting a wall in the sky here at 20 meters. Boop, right there. See that? And it flies back. Be careful when you hear this beeping, folks. It won't let you fly further than 20 meters from its takeoff point, its last takeoff point. Now, let me show you that again. Pushing forward. Watch. Hits the wall in the sky at 20 meters and then flies backwards. And it flies back real fast, so don't be behind it. It kind of drops as it does that. There it goes again, back to where it was. And back again. So keep that in mind, folks. It won't go further than 20 meters during this last part of the battery. Now with that in mind, let's see, I did waypoints, I did circle position, follow me. I think I did most of the things I wanted to demonstrate. Let's go back and finish this out by doing some follow me within the 20 meters here. Okay, activating follow me again. Let's see if follow me does work. Okay, follow. Does it work on low battery? Doesn't seem to work on low battery. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Doesn't light up in low battery, folks, so follow me does not work when you're low battery. So keep that in mind. So while we're here, let's set it up higher. Now, notice when we go up, we can only go as high as 20 meters also. So it also has a geofence of 20 meters in altitude restriction while on low battery power. Let me move it over this way. And then from there, let me rotate and show you the area. By the way, we had lots of snow here on Thanksgiving, which was about 5 days ago. And some of our mountains are still covered heavily in snow. We actually had 3 inches of snow here in the desert. A lot of people think it's not doesn't get cold in the desert. It's always hot. That is wrong. In the wintertime, it gets a little chilly. Most of the year, it's beautiful out here. Okay, hit that wall in the sky, 20 meters. Coming down, coming down, coming down. We're going to continue flying until the battery gets low. Now, when it does do its return to home, it's not going to return to home to the pad, folks, because I took off from that other point. Remember? That location, there, that's 20 meters. I took off from over here. So we are stuck flying around this area here. Zoom. Boy, when it hits that wall, it comes back fast. So coming down a bit. Actually, let me turn it a bit so the sun's in my face and syncing up the camera as we are still recording. So, oh no, this drone is working as advertised. It appears that they have corrected the issues with the original CG033. Excuse me, talking too much here. Starting to lose my voice. Let me lower that gimbal a bit too. There we go. They seem to have corrected the issues with the CG033. This is actually a pretty good drone for the price. You know, with one single battery, it's just under $100. Well, not under $100, just over $100. I believe it's $104. But each additional battery that you add on to the package increases its price by about $20. So like the 2-battery version is about $140. So keep that in mind, folks. That's the higher prices of this. That's kind of explains it. But for about $104, you know, this is actually a good working drone. It seems to work as advertised these days. So they had a year to work on it, and they did. And that's great that they finally got it working. Now, the downside of it is they're advertising it with a 4K camera. Obviously, this is not 4K camera. It's just a 1080p camera in there. That's something a lot of the Chinese vendors do. I don't know why they do it. I know why they do it. They're trying to sell drones. But that's false advertising, in my opinion, when you say it's 4K and it's not. And the way they're justifying it is they're using this app on the phone to interpolate the video quality, well, interpolate the video resolution of the video to, not the video, the still photos, to some extreme resolution they call 4K, which, you know, it's not 4K video. Now, that's not an issue with me, though, because 1080p video is sufficient for most folks who use YouTube, you know, especially if you're, let me turn it this way, the sun's getting in my eyes too much. You know, if you're making YouTube videos and you want to do processing of a 4K video, you're going to need a very good laptop or a very good computer to process that video and upload it to YouTube. And the file size is going to be huge, especially for a 30, 40-minute review like I'm doing right now. It's going to take forever to upload that to YouTube, to process that. It's going to take a lot of your hard disk space, or your if you're using electronic storage, it's going to just fill that right up. So 1080p, again, not a problem in my opinion. But let's see how the quality of this camera actually looks. You know, I haven't actually evaluated the image quality of this video, but you'll see in post-production here, you'll see me talking right now. Okay, I'm going to include this. So, oh no, that's my thoughts on the CG028. Pretty good drone. It's down to about 10.6 volts right now. Notice in the app, folks, if you look in the upper right corner of the app, we have been without battery power for quite some time. So the battery indication on the app is inaccurate. You want to look at the battery indication in the upper right corner of the LCD screen. Right there. Okay, hear that rapid beeping? That's return to home and landing. It's going to where it thinks, where did I take off from? I guess I took off from right there and land itself. That's where I last took off from. So that's its return to home and landing on low battery. And that's its flight time. So let me stop the video recording. Video recording is stopped. And turn off this thing, which is doing. So, final thoughts. Yeah, I think Aosenma's got something here, especially at this price range. It's a good brushless motor, beginner's GPS drone, beginner and intermediate GPS drone for those who don't want to spend a lot of money, $100. The downside is you don't have image stabilization. You know, I think the original CG033 had an up-down stabilization. I'm not sure that this one does. I don't think it does, to tell you the truth. But other than that, everything worked as advertised. So hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out. Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.